So here's another example, Indian jasmine. This is some information from an industry publication. So there's around 16,000 acres of jasmine in production in India right now, and about 20,000 farmers involved in that. So that means each farmer has an average of a half to 1 acre. And usually this is a family affair, so you get the whole family working, the 4 to 5 people in a family. So they estimate there are around 80,000 to 100,000 people involved in just the picking activity for jasmine in India. Now, we work with a partner in India that has over 800 farmers that they work with. 800 farmers. So when you start to think of the scope that's required, even for a small volume product like jasmine, there's not a lot of jasmine produced in the world. There's a massive amount of people involved, work involved in managing this. So how do we connect with people that are making real oil? In most essential oil producing markets, for most essential oils, you have the level of the grower or the collector. Most of these people don't have the experience to or the capability to market and export to international customers. Some of them have their own distillation capabilities, others of them don't. And often these people they don't speak English, they don't have access to good lines of credit. And so there's another layer that gets built up to meet those needs. And I call this, is just Brad's terminology, in-country brokers. And what they do is they aggregate, like our partner in India, they aggregate all those small volumes from the individual growers. Sometimes these brokers have their own farms, sometimes they have their own extraction distillation capabilities, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they compete with each other for products coming from the growers. On top of that, you have another layer, what I, in Brad's terminology, call international brokers. These brokers are ones that work with in-country suppliers from all over the world. And so you can go to an international broker and they might have a portfolio of 150 essential oils from all over the world. A lot of these guys are the ones that feed into the flavor and fragrance industry. They also buy and sell oil to each other. And so it can change hands quite a few times before it goes to the customer from this level. And from what I have seen, this is the level that most companies that are selling essential oils for wellness, just in my own experience, this is the level that they are buying from. On top of that, you have then these very large flavor and fragrance companies who are throughout this supply chain. You have contract manufacturers who are buying oils to put into their products that you go and see in the grocery stores. And I don't know if you guys know this, we work with a lot of contract manufacturers for some of our products beyond just the like our lotions and things like that. We provide all of the essential oil to those contract manufacturers. They don't go out and procure that oil themselves. It's all Young Living essential oil. When you start thinking of the scale of this for all of the products that we have, or the fact that we get essential oils from around 40 different countries, that at the grower level, many of these people don't speak English because there's not good credit there. Cash payments, upfront payments are the norm. We work with people often at this in-country broker level because they provide an important service, but we always have transparency back to the growers. That's how I have the pictures that I'm able to show you and put up in this presentation. Because even when we're working at that level, we go back to the grower level. Now, what are Young Living's sources of oil? I read a while back, Aromatherapy, The Essential Beginning by Gary. He published this in 1996, and I thought it was interesting that he said, in addition to the oil we produce, Young Living purchases tens of thousands of dollars in oil volume per month. By 1997, with our current growth rate, we'll be purchasing over $1 million in oil volume yearly. So I can tell you it's a lot more than that now, much bigger. We've always purchased essential oil. From the beginning, Gary was transparent about that. So we have our corporate farms, we have our partner farms, but we also have people we work with that we're purchasing oil from. That's never been something that Gary tried to hide. But here's the thing to remember about that. It all comes from plants. It all comes from plants grown in the earth. That's what we go back to. So how do we do that? Well, Gary traveled all over the world, and we still travel all over the world. And this supply is now overseen by Corey and his team, but multiple departments throughout the company work on essential oil quality. You have Corey's team, you have the farm teams, you have our research and development teams, the trade compliance teams. It is a concerted effort across multiple disciplines because that's the amount of work that it takes to do this right. And Young Living has unique resources and expertise, and this is what Seed to Seal is. It is our unique resources and expertise that we employ to get you the highest quality essential oils available. We work very hard to establish these transparent supply chains back to the grower level. We utilize our agriculture and distillation expertise that we have developed at our own farms and distilleries. And we've invested heavily in testing and research capabilities in state-of-the-art equipment. And all of this came from Gary, because that large flavor and fragrance industry that I spoke about before, what's important to them is having a standardized product and having a product that is low cost. And so when Gary started to try to get quality essential oils, that's what he was running into over and over again. He said, I don't really care about the lowest cost. I don't really care about standardization. What I care about is a natural quality product. And that actually disrupted their way of doing business. And some of those companies don't like us because we've disrupted their way of doing business. Gary had to figure out how to get quality natural oils from that context. And this is how he did it. And this is how we still do it.